Hey guys, Gradigy here, and you're seeing my face, so you know I must be talking about something serious. This video is for reals, and I'm gonna be talking about making teams. I got a request to make a team to to tell people how to make better teams, and that's what I'm doing. And if people don't like this one, then I'll do another one, and I'll keep doing it till I get it right. So if you guys at the end of this video, if you don't like it, tell me, and I'll make another one, and hopefully it'll be better. Now the first thing you need to think about when you're making a team is, are you wanting to play for fun or to win? Because, and I'm not saying that teams that are built to win aren't fun. If you like winning, then all teams if you enjoy winning, then all teams are built to win and to have fun at the same time. But sometimes, you do make a goofier team to play with that you just want to have fun. You're like, oh, I like these figures, I like these characters, and that's a good way. That's a good place to start, and that is how I make most of my teams. Is I think, what characters do I like? As you all know, I'm a big Hulk fan, so the next team I'll probably be making will probably be Horsemen. So I went out and I tried as hard as possible to get the Horseman figs. Now that team probably isn't going to do great. It has very little support powers on it. It is very offensive, not very defensive. It's very, very prone to outwit taking it out. But it should be a fun game because I enjoy those characters. And it's not a team built to win. But that doesn't mean it won't. Skill comes into play a lot, of course. This is a game of skill. And if your fun team also wins, that's great. But there are figures that are built to win and not really to have a lot of fun. One of the newest examples of this is Nightcrawler that came out in Web of Spider-Man. Absolutely ridiculous figure. I've played him once and thought, this figure's broken, I'm never going to play him again. I've played against him several times. Whenever people want to win, they usually play Nightcrawler. Because he's got just ridiculous powers, and he's so hard to hit. And he's a big part of figures that are made to win are their point efficiency. He's 86 points for something ridiculous. And now what you have to think about whenever you're building a team, again, is what kind of characters do you like? What's your favorite character? What are your favorite teams? I almost never don't make a theme team. If I don't, it's for a decently good reason. Because of the scenario I might be playing or some such. That doesn't allow theme teams, or it's just really hard to do a theme team. I have made teams built to win, and when I do, they usually do. Most of them end up being tentpole teams, which is one figure surrounded by a lot of support figures. But that's what you have to think about whenever. You have roles to fill. If anyone's ever played a role-playing game, there are roles that need filled, and not every role needs to be filled. I would say 2 out of 3, 2/3 of the roles I'm about to list need to be filled for a successful team. You need some kind of support figure. You need several support figures with redundancies and whatnot. Outwit is always important. Outwit is a very, very broken power. Perplex, couple of perplexes if you can do it. Perplex, you can never have too much. Perplex up your attack, then perplex down to their defense. Redundancies like that. Probability control is another thing that always helps, and that's what a nice thing about theme teams is that whenever you make a theme team, you have theme team prob controls. And then, those are your support figures, and then there's also, enhancement and actually support. I try to stray away from figures that are just for support. I think it's a little cheesy to have a 11-point nurse just hanging out in the corner waiting for someone to come back hurt. Single-use figs, I kind of, But again, it depends on what the format is. If I was making a tentpole team, I would load up on nurses. And then you also have to think about your ranged attackers. And a lot of people say this is a game of range. I disagree, but I can see where they're coming from. Most of the time, my teams might have one guy with range. At most two, the rest are going to be bricks. Which a brick is a guy loaded up with damage reducers and charge, super strength, that kind of stuff. Hulk and such. And then you do need bricks. You need tie-up pieces. So that kind of stuff needs to come into play. And tie-up pieces, the key, and I'll give you examples of good pieces like this. The key to a good range piece is mobility. Usually a nice high movement. And running shot, of course, is going to be nice. And I might be, if I'm telling you guys stuff you already know, go watch another one of my videos. Don't watch one of my videos. Do something. But you need a lot of mobility. You need a good defense. On other pieces, of course you always want a good defense on any fig, but a good defense on a ranged might save that figure. Usually ranged pieces get hit once and they're kind of done. But then you want your bricks to have high damage and a long dial. Same for your tie-up pieces, but the difference, you don't want to go cheap on your brick, on your big heavy melee hitter, because if you do, they might start out with impervious, but then they'll go down like that if you go cheap on your brick. They'll tank like a brick in water. And the thing about tie-up pieces, you want them to have plasticity, of course. Poison is always nice, and not damage reducers, but damage evaders. Damage avoidance. Like Venom from Hammer of Thor is a fantastic tie-up piece. He has, plasticity, shape change, and super senses. And he's Thunderbolt's keyword. So you can alternate team ability him to scroll. Which is fantastic. Because that means he has scroll, but whenever you attack him, you have to roll his scroll, which is on a 6, you have to pick someone else. And then he gets his shape change. 5 or 6, you have to attack someone else. And then if you hit his defense, he gets a super senses. And then if, one of those don't happen, then you're tied up with him. And he's also got leap climb, which is another thing you want your tie-up pieces to have, is a good mobility. They don't necessarily have to have leap climb, because not a lot of figs have plasticity and leap climb. But that, if he's getting beat up, he's got leap climb as a trait, and if you did bring a support, you can leap climb out of there, no need to roll breakaway with leap climb, and then go get him healed up. He's 78 points. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Nice cheap piece. I mean, if in a 500-point team, that's not that much of your team. In a 300-point team, it's a little more, and he can be a nice secondary attacker. Or even a primary attacker if you use a lot of cheap figs. He's no pushover. Anyway, and then your support figures like Outwit and Perplex and Prob Control, try not to dump a lot of points in a single-use figure. Because if you are picking someone just for Perplex, don't pick Doctor Strange. If you're looking at your team and think, I could really use some Perplex, and that's it. Don't pick someone like Doctor Strange. He's 149 points, and if you're just using him for his possible +2 Perplex, you're kind of using him wrong. Not saying that Doctor Strange is a bad piece, but try to go cheap on those kind of figs. Try to pick someone that's about 50 points. Same for your Outwits. If you're thinking about Outwit, don't immediately go, maybe I should use Doctor Doom. 200 points, Outwit, sure. But if that's, and I'm not saying Doctor Doom is a bad piece. I love Doctor Doom. That's not the only reason you're going to pick him. Have him in mind for other roles, and you will. I'm not saying that you guys are idiots, and because you're all smart people. I mean, you watch my YouTube channel. Clearly, you are intelligent group, but have other roles for those kind of characters. Don't just expect them to sit in the back and perplex the entire time and be okay. Because people will target them and knock them off their useful clicks, and then you'll look at that fig and think, all he did was perplex. That was 149 points of perplex. Wish I had done something else. And then the same thing with your prop control. just think of some other uses or pick a cheap prop control. We recently got roulette, which is 35 points with super senses and prop control, and that's it. If you want that fig, I've used it before. I've already used it, and it's nice. It's a nice little piece, and you know they're always coming out with better figs to suit those smaller rolls. You know, and that's what you got to think about. Is, you know, you have certain rolls, and at least fill 2 out of 3 of those. You don't, you know, if you're going to have all those rolls, but you want to leave out, like, your brick, that's fine. You know, add in another ranged attacker or another tie-up piece or another secondary attacker like Venom or something. But you've got to fill some of those rolls. If you build a team of bricks, you're going to get tore to shreds. And that's just a fact. You're going to get tore to shreds. If you build a team of ranged attackers, same thing. If your teammate is smart enough, they'll just run in there with that one Venom that they brought. That 178-point figure is going to leap climb in there, tie up all your figs while the rest of his team, you know, runs up and beats you up. You know, and I'm not saying that won't happen, that you won't be able to win with a team of just one type of figure, but it's not going to be often that you do. Like I said, there's roles that you need to fill. And there's also, and you know, if you're just wanting to win, then just play really cheesily. You know, like a Nightcrawler is considered high cheese. Veteran Icon Superman. Rage. Hate that figure so much. I've never played it and I never will. But he is so overpowered that, I mean, I have literally lost a game just because of Veteran Icon Superman. It was a game where the scenario was everyone had Battle Fury. I played DC 75th Ares and some other piece. I don't recall offhand. Anyway, I was playing against Icon Superman and Wonder Woman and Hawkman and Atom. One shot Hawkman and Atom and Wonder Woman, and he only had Veteran Icon Superman left. And he was on, both my guys were on the top click, and I ended up losing. Just because of that figure. That's my cuckoo clock. So anyway, I mean, if you're just looking to win, there are cheesy figures. You know, use Professor Zoom, he's nice. Nightcrawler, or, you know, load up on Iron Fists, or Icon Superman. But if you're wanting to have a good time, build a well-rounded team, have some fun with it. But if you're really wanting to have a good time, attack your team with dinosaurs. Roar. Yeah. So there you have it, guys. That's me telling you, well, not telling you how, but giving you tips on how to build a team. So hopefully that helps. And that's me. And that's my other dog. So play on, guys.